Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports, get a Yamaha golf cart there, get an ATV, UTV, side-by-side motorcycle, go-kart, anything you want there. Not going to lie to you. I've been awake for moments. I don't even have coffee in me. I have it right here, but I haven't even consumed any. On a typical day, I've been up since, sometime in the 5 o'clock hour. Today was different. The radio station, they said, "Easy, we don't need you. We're doing no one's talking on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So you're free to do what you want." Okay, sounds good. So I'll just sleep in. But what that has resulted in is me kind of like, all right, yeah, I got to go do the podcast. And then kind of rolling out of bed. So that's kind of like the vibe on New Year's Eve. And I'm sure there's plenty of people working on New Year's Eve. That's true, right? I mean, where you all are from, wherever you're paying attention to this at, you're at work, right? I see Bread Bowl Brain Chris is still in bed. But New Year's Eve is a work day. New Year's Day is not. Friday is a work day. Chris says, "I'll be here tonight with the snow we're supposed to get." Now, you work in wastewater. You're a turd herder. Do you have is there more duties when there's snow? Does that mean more poo? I'm confused. What does the weather have to do with sewage? Josh in Borculo says, "I haven't worked since last Friday, still in bed." Branjo says, "I'm hustling at the office, but I'll be watching YouTube this afternoon." Chris says, "Water equals more poo flow. Snow equals plowing." So they've got you have that as a what do you call it? Government employee, community employee, city employee, civic employee. You have a lot of duties and duties. Duty and duty. Rebecca says, "I'm going to have vet bills like I'm easy, and I only have one dog." Wait, what's going on with that? You have a sick pet? Maureen's it's still jammy time for our dear friend Maureen. So I literally, like I've described to you, I go to bed, I take off the hoodie, and I throw it on the ground, on the carpet, and then I wake up and I put it back on. So this is the exact same thing I had on yesterday. It's like from when the podcast ended last night, we did a Big Fraud Tuesday, the first time we've ever done a Big Fraud Tuesday. I got in bed. I took this off. I got in bed. Basically, in between podcasts, I took a super long nap. I don't normally like to do this, but I had a crazy-ass dream just before getting out of bed. And I was walking around on the boardwalk in New Jersey. And I had with me Joe Mama from Q100. That doesn't make any sense. And I was in one of those shops that they have there where you buy T-shirts and they're like airbrushed and shitty. And I swear to God, the next part of the dream is two guys were holding up the joint. And one of the guys came walking back to where I was, and he pulled out a big-ass golden gun, and he was tall. So he put it on the top of my head, and he shot me. So in the dream, I got shot through the top of my head. God, what the fuck is wrong with me? Seriously. I didn't wake up then after that. I was kind of like walking around marveling at how much it didn't hurt. Rebecca says that her dog has, she's fairly sure that the dog has hip dysplasia. He's young, hoping we can manage it long term with meds and therapy. He's still numb. He's still dumb and the happiest boy. You'd never know anything is wrong. Yeah, I don't. So I guess that means some type of like deterioration of the hip or something like that. Alan said, I thought if you die in your dream, you die in real life. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I don't think it is. Maybe I didn't die, but yeah, I think that's an urban legend. Alan says, a prisoner of the highway, always working. My God. Hope he can be treated, says Becca Shea. In 2025, we lost a lot of people. 'Tis the season where you would review people who passed away. And this is also time for me to go, oh, my God, I didn't know they died. It's also a reminder of how not in touch I am when I see the names of people who are reasonably famous, and I don't have any idea who they are. At the start of this article on People, it shows Diane Keaton, it shows Rob Reiner, and it shows Robert Redford. I barely remember the passing of Redford. They're still investigating the Rob Reiner death. My God. Bling Empire's Lynn Ban. Nope. Emergency surgery following a skiing accident. Kim Se-ron. No idea. Writer-director Jeff Baena. Nope. General Hospital veteran Leslie Charlson. Nope. Michelle Trachtenberg. I remember the name, but I couldn't tell you what she looked like or what she was ever in. It says she was a former child star. Gene Hackman and his wife. Didn't their dogs eat them or something like that? No, the dog was dead. I think, God, I forget that. The details are sketchy in my brain. I think she had something weird happen to her, and when the caregiver died, that meant that he died or some shit like that. I don't know. Val Kilmer died. Brian Wilson died. Let's see. Rebecca says Caroline Kennedy's daughter just died. She was 35. So somebody from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know. Alan says, didn't they have brain-eating amoeba? I don't know. I don't know that there was brain-eating amoeba. Chris in Buffalo says, now is the time to start the 2026 Eric Zane Show podcast Fantasy Death Pool. Branjo says, Bosco's Pub, RIP for now. What I'm curious about is if the People magazine is going to actually announce Hulk Hogan's death. Because you remember Hulk Hogan died, and immediately the whole world said, good. Connie Francis, I think I know that name. Malcolm Jamal Warner. I had forgotten he died. Caught in a high current. He was 54. Ozzy Osbourne. Robert Redford. Diane Keaton. Bridget Bardot just died. And if you've ever, I always marvel at how time always wins. Bridget Bardot, one of the most attractive people on the planet when she was younger. And by the time she was dead, she looked like a raisin. She was 91. Okay, this is Perry Bamonte. Perry Bamonte looked better than Bridget Bardot. I remember hearing about this. He was in the band The Cure. Mickey Lee, no idea. Pat Finn, no idea. Chris Rea, no idea. Aida Maria Vargas, haven't heard of her. Imani Dia Smith, nope. James Ransone, I do remember this guy. In fact, I didn't know who the fuck he was. And then I read a little bit more, and he was in the It movies. Or It Chapter 2. And I think all these people took their own lives. That's not true. Greg Biffle. That one just happened. The whole family got wiped out. My God, it was horrible. Was he flying that plane? Has anybody found out about that? Helen Siff. Nope. William Rush. Sorry. Gil Gerard. Buck freaking Rogers. I did not know he died. Ethan McLeod. Car accident. Soccer player. 21. Rob Reiner. We know that. Anthony Geary. I think I've heard that name. Peter Green. This was, you know who this was? This was from Pulp Fiction. Ned. Wait a minute. Ned? Zed. That was it. Zed. Zed's dead. That's Peter. He just died December 12th. Jim Ward. Boy, I don't know. I think that was pretty recent. December 10th. Sophie Kinsella, nope. Steve Regal, nope. Rachel Carpani, nope. Frank Geary, no, he's an architect. Kari, somebody Japanese. Poor Stacy, I don't know the fucking rapper. Tim Thompson, I don't know who the fucking these people are. Jimmy Cliff, I remember, a reggae singer. Oh, my God. This is so bad. Marshawn Nealon. That was the football player who took his own life. Diane Ladd. Yeah, she's the old one. Betty Harvard. Yervis Medina. Baseball player. Nothing about Hulk Hogan yet. Hang on, I got to sneeze. Oh, my God. Ace Frehley, of course. Yes. This list, half of these people should not be in this list. Diane Keaton should. Any of the ones that I don't know shouldn't. Joan Kennedy, whoever that is, she had some bad plastic surgery. Ben Lewis, nope. Nope. Ike Turner Jr., no. Who gives a shit about Ike Turner Jr.? I don't know who that is. Ed Williams, no. Jane Goodall, yeah, she should be on. She was awesome. She's big with the apes. Rudy Johnson, I guess. Let's see here. Redford, of course. Ricky Hatton. I don't know. Fuck, man. Giorgio Armani, yeah, that's a big one. This list does not need to be this long. Tristan Rogers, Maureen was talking about him. No, he doesn't count either. Nope, no. Bobby Whitlock, no. Jim Lovell. That was, I remember the name from Apollo 13. That's the only reason why people know Jim Lovell. Lonnie Anderson, yeah, she's in. Paul Mario Day, original vocalist of Iron Maiden. No, he doesn't count. Ryan Sandberg, yeah, he's in. Hulk Hogan, he made the list. Ozzy. Chuck Mangione, I did not know Chuck Mangione died. There's always someone, Alan Bergman. There's always someone who gets slighted. Connie Francis, she's on the list. Brian Brahman, no, he's not on the list. David Caff, he was in the Spinal Tap movies. He should not be on the list. Bobby Jenks, I didn't know he was dead. Baseball player. Shouldn't be on the list. Michael Madsen, absolutely. Yeah, you see, nowadays, they're getting Kenneth Coley from the Star Wars, one of the Star Wars movies. Yeah, the guy played like 3 seconds on screen. Why the fuck? Dave Parker's dead? I cannot believe that. I didn't know that. He's definitely on the list. Shafali Jariwala, no. Rick Hurst, who he was, Dukes of Hazzard, right? He should not be on the list. Mick Ralphs from Bad Company. Yeah, he should be on the list. Bobby Sherman, former Teen Idol. Yeah, he should be on the list. This guy, Joe Marinelli, no. They're doing this so that no one gets pissed off. That's why basically this is a list of every American who died, as opposed to actually famous people. Anne Burrell. What is it with like food people taking their own lives? Marjorie Grande. So basically, even famous people's grandmothers. My God, this is terrible. Doug McCarthy. Some dance band. There's Brian Wilson. Okay. Harris Yulin. I know the face, but I couldn't. He was in Ozark. No, he's not on the list. Sly Stone, absolutely on the list. For his afro alone. Donna Dan says, I got to meet Jane Goodall, amazing in person as she appeared as a celebrity. How in the world were you wandering through the sub-Saharan bush with silverback gorillas? What the fuck were you doing? Alan says no Charlie Kirk. Ooh, let's see. The list isn't over yet. Oh, my God, if they don't have Charlie Kirk on this list. Marcy Jones, who is one of these chicks. By the way, that look in the 60s, swinging 70s, whatever, with these mini skirts, that is risky as hell. Look how short those are. This chick on the end needs 2 haircuts to wear that. Jonathan Joss. That was the guy who played John Redcorn. He was killed. It was a neighbor dispute on King of the Hill, John Redcorn. All right, yeah, he can be on the list. Mike McCallum. No, you're not on the list. Loretta Swit. Yeah, she's on the list. Rick Derringer. Rock and roll hoochie coo, absolutely. He also sang I Am a Real American, the Hulk Hogan song. Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty, oh, hell yes. This is a soccer player. Okay, all right, great. George Wendt, didn't know he died. Did not know he died. I mean, I probably did, but I forgot. Definitely on the list. Adam Ramey. Who's Adam Ramey? No. Roger Nichols, no. Charlie Strauss, no. Jane Bright. Who the fuck is Jane Bright? No, you're not in it. Some wrestler named Sabu, no. Johnny Rodriguez, no. Basically, this list is just people I recognize or have heard of. I recognize this guy, but he's not on the list. Okay, now there's no way they're going to put Charlie Kirk now because we're really getting into the nobodies. Like these idiots who are all dead. Ruth Buzzy died? Holy shit, I didn't know that. She should be on the list. List is way too long. The list goes to 291, and I'm not even at 191. Steve Mongo McMichael died. ALS. Wink Martindale died. Didn't know that. Judas Priest, drummer in the late 70s, 1970s. He doesn't count. No. Nobody cares. Boy, it's amazing. Blondie drummer, Lem Clark. Who gives a fuck? Michael Hurley. The godfather of freak folk, Michael Hurley. What does that even mean? Bodybuilder. Every time I see these bodybuilders that are dead, I'm like, okay, we all know what killed them. You know? Tons of steroid abuse has to be. Richard Chamberlain, recognize that name. Couldn't tell you what he was in. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find last name Kirk. No, they did not put Charlie Kirk on here. Oh, they're going to get a ton of shit on that. How can you not put Charlie Kirk on there? Branjo says, I bet this website is using about 43 gigs of RAM. That's a niche joke. Yeah, it is because I don't get it. Main Kristen Mason says, did we cover Ozzy Osbourne yet? Yeah, he was on there. His picture and his name. Anybody that does not put Charlie Kirk on their deaths for the year, I mean, some would argue that was the biggest death. I remember when that whole Kirk thing was going down. Despite on Who Are These Broadcasts with Christian Blatt, we would cover him all the time. I didn't know who he was. Again, it goes in one ear and out the other with me. All right. When I found out, I remember it was right around September 11th that incident happened. And Christian texted me. He says, hey, Charlie Kirk was just murdered in cold blood, shot. And I wrote back, who is that? And he wrote, idiot. We discuss him all the time on our show. I go, oh, fuck. So I looked it up. I saw it. I was shocked. And then right away, everybody came out of the woodwork with he gets what he gets. He deserved it. He supported gun control. We attribute this quote to him and I was like, oh, this guy must have been a real asshole. And so then I started looking into it on my own and not paying attention to those quotes. And I started to pay attention to the things that the guy was saying. I was like, well, he's super, influenced by the Bible, but there's a lot of people like that. And I don't really a lot of this shit is just his opinion based on the Bible, and he seems like he's firm in his beliefs, but I don't think this guy is nearly as much of an asshole as you all say he is. And so then I talked about that. I said, yeah, is this the guy I'm supposed to hate? I don't give a shit if he believes this, this, and this. And then there was several videos that I watched of him actually giving people a fair shake when they were trying to debate him. And first and foremost, he created content. And it was steeped in political views and religious views. And I was like, this is who I'm supposed to hate? This is who everybody's telling me to hate? You people are fucking crazy. My God. I had a lot of people reach out to me who had written me off and said, EZ, you coming out and voicing how you felt about all that brought me back to you. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's just fucking common decency here. And then Maitland threw the fucker under the bus and got in deep shit. I didn't even know she did it, but somebody reached out to me and said, hey, Maitland did this, this, and this about Charlie Kirk, and Kelly Cheese was right there cheering her on. And here's the screenshots. And I go, uh-oh. I go, well, I'm telling the world about this. So that's immediately what I did. And then for about a week and a half, she was getting it, man. They were letting her have it. Becca Shea says, I can't remember, did they ever catch the person who did it? Yes. He is awaiting trial. Chris in Maine says the Charlie Kirk hot take justifiers are scum of the earth. Yeah, they are. Come on now. You can't even die these days. The same thing goes like when Trump, when he got shot and people were, applauding that. Which, by the way, I've seen a lot of videos that seem to indicate that Trump, I don't know if you ever watch these, I don't know if I believe it, but they sure make a compelling argument of when Trump got shot, the conspiracy theorists are that was all staged. And I don't believe that. But when they frame it the way they do, conspiracy theorists, they do an excellent job of making me want to think that there was some type of crazy shit going on there. You forget there was a guy that was shot and killed when that happened. I do not believe that, by the way. Donut Dan says, were there any others that were politics related or just entertainment based on the list? I don't know. I'll link it up in the show notes. All right. So now the clock starts for 2026. The idea of a death pool on the show. So what you'll do is you'll pick three. You'll pick three to die in the upcoming year, 2026. Now, some of you will take the same person, and I don't care. I mean, it depends on the death pool. Some death pools don't allow you to have, like if one of you picks Keith Richards and then someone else picks Keith Richards. Murder Lover Linda says, could that be bad karma? Becca Shea says that's bad juju. Okay, so you don't think we should do a death pool? Because really there was only Chris in Buffalo who wanted to do a death pool. How about this? Chris in Buffalo, do a death pool, and we'll just keep track of yours. Linda says, you guys can. I'm out. All right, no death pool. I'm getting tons of flack on the death pool. Man Bun Chris says, any New Year's resolutions for the Toon Man? And Don says, how about a wish list instead? Rebecca says, death pool should never be in writing or vocalized. It's bad karma. Chris in Buffalo says, murder lover Linda loves murder, but not a death pool. What the fuck? Cole says, Clint Eastwood, William Shatner, and a wild card Mick Foley. Okay. Overwhelmingly not doing the death pool. New Year's resolutions. I have none. I don't have a lot. I mean, I think the things that slow me down are my lack of organizational skills, the clutter in this house, and fat. Those are the three things that bother me the most. Lack of organization, clutter, and fat. Chris in Buffalo says, I bet Megan and Gigglebox Amy would be in on the death pool, LOL. Donut Dan says, Mickey Rourke, narco-terrorist, and question mark. All right. Becca Shea says, that's your ADHD referring to all the clutter. The thing is, if you look behind me, do you see that shelf? Look at that shelf. There's an ad in front of it right now. Let me make the ad go away. Okay. I see books and all sorts of shit. I see a boombox radio. It's just every shelf. There's a dog there. There's all sorts of shit there that it's just been sitting there for literally years. Now, you take that and you make it every square inch of my house. Branjo says, easy goal. Use the ad blocker web browser. I've sent him 20 times. Can you send it again? I'll write it down, and then I won't use it. Have you seen any of those commercials, those things where you're doom scrolling, and it says, AI will make 500,000 more millionaires than the internet has in its entire lifetime. In 5 minutes, AI will make millionaires. Have you seen all that shit? I feel like I should be on the cutting edge of AI. And I don't know what the hell it does. I think I use AI, and I don't even know it. Like when I do the podcast, I get a message back from something that I've subscribed to that says, easy, these are the clips of your show. And it goes ahead and it watches the show and it pulls clips and it puts a catchy title on it and it puts the captions at the bottom of it. And so AI does that. And I don't know how the fuck that happens. But I think I'm missing something without utilizing AI. And I got to get out of the thinking that because I'm old, I don't need AI. I think I'm hurting myself without utilizing it, you know? But I couldn't even tell you how the fuck it would help me. I think that would help me in my organizational issues. You know, ultimately, I still have to get in here every day and talk. AI is not going to do that. I am going to do that. Nothing can substitute what's in my stupid brain, rattling around in there and coming out of my mouth. Nothing. Donko is here, and he's my age. He says, I use AI for tons of stuff. It's pretty incredible. I don't even know where to go to utilize it. Josh in Borculo says, I'm guilty of clutter issues. Murder Lover Linda says, 2026 goal, start a documentary club. Megan is here. Megan, before you got here, my dear, we were discussing a death pool for 2026. I don't know if you know what a death pool is. You pick 3 people to die in the year 2026. And numerous folks said that's bad juju. No, we're not doing that. Fuck you. Somebody thought you would be into it. That would be something you'd be into. Okay, there you go. She says, I don't want anyone to die. Megan would be the type to join the death pool and then, yeah, hey, Megan, it's 3 a.m. I know, but I don't want anyone to see that me associated with Irvine's it's a death pool. And I can't do that. Can you go ahead and delete all the episodes of your podcast that Irvine's was on? All right. Donut Dan says you could have AI for your entire show. It can make your face and background and mimic your voice. Yeah, but it's not the same. I've seen and heard AI. And anyone who's got half a brain can tell when they're watching and seeing AI. And who, honestly, yeah, that may be able to be used, but it's still shit. There's no substitute for what comes out of my mouth. It cannot be replicated. It cannot be duplicated. Maureen says, but I don't think that predicting death means you want them to die. No, I think it does. Donko Dan says, I use it for more mundane tasks. I took a picture of all the food in my refrigerator and cupboards, and it gave me tons of quick and easy, awesome ideas. Yeah. All right. Sounds fun. AI can make some great photos if you use an actual person's photos. Yeah, none of the things that anybody has suggested about using AI for seems practical or interesting to me. Okay? Like, I want to take, when my car's not running, I want to take a picture of the engine and have it tell me what's wrong with it. And then I can take it to someone to fix it, like Megan. All right. So, on the horizon for today, boy, am I jam-packed. First of all, we got a hockey game. Face-off is at 6 on New Year's Eve. The Griffins are trying to make it 16 wins in a row. Franchise record tonight in Grand Rapids. That's massive. Fireworks show after. Boy, it's loud. And I'm right at ice level where the fireworks are. It's so fucking loud. Holy shit. Leading up to that, though, Pooh Bear, 2 p.m. at the dock, leaving at 1:15. Between now and then, I have to publish this. I have to, I'm going to skip the Patreon today. I'm going to publish something to listen to while I'm away. I have to publish best of shows and something to listen to while I'm away for Thursday, Friday. I have to publish yesterday's Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I have to publish yesterday's Who Are These Free Beers? I have to voice track Q100 for Friday. I have to voice track Big 101.3 for today, tomorrow, Friday. Have to get Pooh Bear to the doctor, like I said. And then get up early and take the dogs to doggy daycare because I'm traveling over to see Dad and Joanne and my stepfather as well. Then back home Saturday, Grand Rapids Gold game on Saturday. And Friday there's a Griffins game, but I'm not doing the Griffins game because I'm doing the Ryan Fisher hockey game at Granville High School. So I've got a sub. Go Josh, go, I think, on Friday doing the gig. Somebody's doing the gig. The Griffin's game. I don't know who. But, yeah. Thank you to the sponsors. Thank you, Skydive Grand Haven. $248, $249 to Tandem Skydive, 8,000 feet, skydivegrandhaven.com. Go to skydivegrandhaven.com, click Shop Gift Certificates, and get the Tandem Jump Package. And jump with me this summer. Skydivegrandhaven.com. The only place in Michigan where you can get up to 17,000 feet to jump and see the pristine, majestic Grand Haven Beach coastline of Lake Michigan. Irvine's, as always, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. You know them. Thank you to them. Longtime sponsor, one of the OGs. They'll fix your car, your hybrid, or your EV while people still have EVs. I saw a video about the Ford Lightning. There's a spot somewhere on Ford property in Michigan where there's literally thousands of Ford F-150 Lightnings, and they're going to be scrapped. Just as a lot of people said, that ridiculous fad is going to go away, and Ford is shifting their attention to hybrids, which is something we've said a long time. It makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't get 80, 90, 100 miles a gallon or whatever, but it does pretty goddamn good. Pooh Bear's hybrid is several years old, and it's you can still get 50 miles per gallon. Come on now. Thank you as well to Merchant Automotive. They don't fix cars, they fix trucks with Duramax motors and Allison transmissions. Merchant-automotive.com for more information. They're in Zeeland, Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care, longtime sponsor. You got a tree, needs to come down, you call Kuiper. 616-828-8225. Thank you, Kuiper Tree Care. Speaking of cutting, you're getting a haircut at King's Room Barbershop. 3 locations. Northland Drive, Caledonia, and at 821 36th Street in beautiful Wyoming, Michigan. Thank you. King's Room Barbershop at kingsroom.net. It's New Year's Eve. Insurance clicks over January 1, 2026. If you have not made any adjustments to your insurance policy, you're about to get boned if you get your insurance through the Affordable Care Act. Tomorrow or maybe the day after, you'll see a lot of money coming out of your bank account to pay for your insurance because you didn't adjust the policy. The law is changing January 1. I told you many, many times to change your policy. Frank can help you. Appointmentwithfrank.com. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the world-famous TC Paintball. I just sent Rick a note, said, dude, we've got to do an indoor paintball party. What are we waiting for? Let's go! TCPaintballGR.com. Thank you to them. I know this is an abbreviated show, but like I said, I'm off. Thank you, and Happy New Year to all of you. Let's get an asshole of the day. Oh, I know who it is. It's the intentional slighting of Charlie Kirk by People Magazine. Oh. Yeah, you'll hear more about this. I guarantee you people are going to be pissed off. You want to put him at the... You want to avoid these issues, so what you do is you have a big, make him the biggest. Even if you hate him, you make him the biggest. We honor Charlie Kirk, because otherwise people lose their minds. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you for helping make this show what it is in our little corner of the internet. And thank you. I appreciate you so much. Have a good one, folks. And I'm not even going to stay up till midnight. No. I'll roll over at like 2 a.m. and give Pooh Bear a little smooch. Happy New Year, 2026. Let's go pay some more vet bills. But 2025 is out like Joe Martinez's prostate. That's it. And I hope 2026 is great for you folks. Talk to you on Monday. Till then, have a good one, and bye-bye.